have already covered the outline, so it's okay. So what actually I was telling about the security, the state of being free from danger or threat is actually the security. And I already, security is all about knowing who and what to trust. And now let's see two examples. One is a company's perspective and one is individual. Suppose a company may have purchased the best security technologies that money can buy, trained their people so well that they lock up all their secrets before going home at night, and hired building guards from the best security firm in the business. That company is still totally vulnerable. And as an individual, we can see the individuals may follow every best security practice recommended by the experts, slavishly install every recommended security product, and be thoroughly vigilant about proper system configuration and applying security patches. These individuals are still completely vulnerable. So why? So the thing is, the human factor is truly security's weakest link. So this is actually the social engineering. So human factor. So let's see it. So social engineering actually human interaction to psychologically manipulate targets through deception and persuasion in order to influence the target's action. And it is the form of technique employed by cyber criminals designed to lure unsuspecting users into sending them their confidential data, infecting their computers with malware or opening links to infected sites. So this type of attack vector that lies heavily on human interaction and often involves manipulating people into breaking normal security procedures or best practices in order to gain access to systems, maybe network or physical location for financial gain. So this social engineering uses to deceive and manipulate victims to gain computer access. And this is achieved by tricking users into clicking malicious links by physically gaining access to computer through deception. So let's see what others actually experts say about social engineering. One of professional penetrator tester, Alop, says obtaining of confidential or privileged information by manipulating legitimate sources, and that it always requires some degree of deception. So this is actually the degree of deception is actually the social engineering. And another renowned social engineer, Kevin Mitnick, explains finding a way to deceive a trusted user into revealing information in an effort to defeat the security measures. So what are the threat factors of social engineering? Actually, they conceal their true identities and motive at the beginning. And social engineering technique influence, manipulate, or trick users into giving up privileged information. And it is a popular technique of hackers because it is often very easier to exploit users' weakness instead of actually breaking the software vulnerabilities. So breaking human shield is easier than the technology vulnerabilities. And hacker often use social engineering technique as a first step for a larger campaign to infiltrate a system or network and steal sensitive data or disperse their malware. Cybersecurity actually a process. So the social engineering attacks succeeds actually when the people or the those who are actually responsible to maintain IT system are behaved simply ignorant type, or they actually deceived by the hackers. So this is the security I already mentioned into as a company or as a individual. It is actually if we think it is a product, not, it is a process, and its people and management. Its main problem is people and its management. So as developer invent continually better security technologies, making it increasingly difficult to exploit technical vulnerabilities, attackers will turn more and more to exploit human element. Because day by day we are seeing a lot of better antiviruses or a lot of hardware or firewalls. So it is difficult to penetrate all this, but to penetrate or exploit human element is more easier, and it is the social engineering. So taking human firewall is often easy and requires no investment beyond the cost of a phone call or involves minimum risk. Let's see the characteristics of a social engineer. Social engineer anticipates suspicion and resistance, and he always prepared to distrust into trust. And social engineer commonly apply technique involved building a sense of trust on part of the victim. And social engineer mostly knows how to cause a problem for the victim, and then victim grateful when resolves a problem. And in resolving the problem, actually, the social engineer extend helping hand to the victim, and the victim actually, when he solves the problem, he is grateful to that person, and this is the opportunity of the social engineer to actually interact more with the victim. So social engineer manipulate by pretending he needs the other person to help him. So this is the most important. And the problem is actually created by the social engineer, or often we call hacker. So social engineer uses psychology to influence, to lead his target to comply with his request, and skilled social engineers are often adept at developing a trick that stimulates emotion such as fear, excitement, or guilt to the victim. And they do using psychological triggers like automatic mechanism that lead people to respond to a request without in-depth analysis of all the available information to him. But to do this, a social engineer actually needs a large measure of knowledge and skill with computer system and all these things. So social engineer actually in a company or an individual actually targets the entry-level people most. And because a skilled social engineer often targets lower level personnel in an organization hierarchy, maybe the newly recruited personnel, because it can be easy to manipulate these people into revealing seemingly not harmful information. The people, those who just newcomers, they don't know the information they are sharing with others is not harm at all. But this actually, they are revealing their important information to the other people. So this opportunity actually the social engineer takes from the newcomers. Social engineer targets entry-level employee because they typically are unaware of the value of the specific company information. Just now, let's see the basic tendencies of human nature. Actually, how they a social engineer actually manipulate a person by using these human tendencies or human nature. So this is actually the lot of social scientists studied human nature, and one of them, Robert Cialdini, summarized 6 basic tendencies of human nature. And the social engineer actually uses this tool to manipulate, uses these characteristics to manipulate them. These are, one is the authority, second is liking, third reciprocation, fourth commitment, fifth social validation or proof, and sixth one is scarcity. So these are the human nature or tendencies. So let's see one by one. Authority. So actually, when we are working in a company or in an organization, my higher authority, when actually wants something to do or instruct something to do, I easily believe that I have to do it. So the authority actually is the most important. And liking, through conversation, the attacker manages to learn hobby or interest of a victim and claims an interest and the enthusiasm for the same hobby or interest. Or he or she may ask where he is from or which state he is from. And actually, later on, the social engineer will also say that he is also from the same region, like this. Reciprocation. So when actually we get something from someone, then we usually want to give the same type of help to others. So this is actually the reciprocation. When someone has done something for you, you feel an inclination to reciprocate that. So the social engineering uses these tendencies of human nature. Another, commitment. When people actually commit to do something, then he actually to the public or endorsement of a cause, then he always has a commitment to actually do this. And the social engineer actually took this as a tool. And one is social validation or proof. In this case, suppose one person actually want to survey something, and the person who they are actually targeting, they said, no, I will not actually take part in this survey. But when the requester actually mentioned that the other person who he knows well already fill up the survey form, then the person actually comply with his request. So in this case, the caller says he is conducting a survey and names other people in the department who is claimed have already cooperated with him. The victim, believing that cooperation by others validates the authenticity of the request and agrees to take part. So in this manner, actually, social engineer manipulate the victim. And scarcity, the last one, human tendency. So here is actually an example. The social engineer sends email claiming that the first 500 people to register a company new website with free ticket to an excellent movie, suppose. So only 500 people, they will actually give free tickets. So when an unsuspecting employee register, he may give his password, what he use in other cases. So in this manner, actually, they also collect information from the victim. So this scarcity also may be a tool for social engineer to break the human. So let's see now social engineering attack categories. There are two types of social engineering categories. One is called hunting, another is farming. What is hunting? It seeks to execute social engineering attack through minimal interaction with the target. And once the specified objective is achieved and the security breach is established, communication is like to be terminated. That means it is a short term. And harming is actually long term. The attacker aims to establish a relationship with the victim in order to extract information for a longer period of time. Throughout the process, the interaction can change. The target may learn the truth, and social engineer may attempt to bribe or blackmail the target, thus resorting to traditional criminal behavior. So this is actually the farming, because in the communication, sometimes the victim or target may suspect it is actually he is manipulating me. Then again, he in another adopt another technique to build trust to the victim. So let's see social engineering cycle, how actually the social engineering breaks and ultimately succeed to access to a computer or manipulate the victim. So there are phases here. One is first information gathering or research. So the social engineer actually collecting information to help identify attack vectors and targets, first step. Second is developing relationship, or often we call hook, develop rapport with the target. And third one, exploitation. Once he develop a relationship or hook a relationship with the victim, then exploit, or often we call play. Use information and relationship to infiltrate the target. And fourth one, exit or execution. Accomplish the ultimate goal of the social engineer. However, these social engineering attacks are unique, actually, with possibility that it might involve multiple phases of these four factors, and may even incorporate the use of other more traditional attack technique to achieve the desired end goal. So this actually, first, the attacker actually collect information. Second is he develop relationship with the victim and then exploit, and finally exit. So now let's see the attack vectors. What are the different attack vectors? The attack vectors are two types actually. One is called social approach, another is called socio-technical approach. Social approach is an attack vector is social approach can arise through acts like tailgating, impersonating, eavesdropping, shoulder surfing, and others. And socio-technical approach, this approach can arise through different situations like fishing, baiting, water hole. That means in socio-technical approach, we or the social engineer actually applies some tools or technique. So first, let's see what is tailgating. So you find here that when a hacker walks into a secured building by following someone with authorized access card, so and this attack presumes the person with legitimate access to the building is courteous enough to hold the door open for the person behind him, assuming he is allowed to be there. So this is how actually one gets physical access to a location. Impersonating. So actually, this threat actors assume a false identity to gain credibility as a basis to carry out malicious action like piggybacking, pretexting, and quid pro quo. So piggybacking, in this case, the attacker aims to gain physical entry to secured areas. And pretexting, the attacker attempts to breach security protocol and gain access to credentials and personal information. And quid pro, this means something for something. In this case, attacks rely on people's sense of reciprocity, because we already know this. One of the human tendencies is reciprocity. So this quid pro actually in this, the attacker offering something in exchange for information. the gift or like others think. So the example of pre-testing are through email, maybe urgently ask for your help or notify you that you are a winner, or present a problem that requires you to verify your information by clicking on the displayed link and providing information then in their form. So this are pretexting through email. Another social engineering technique is eavesdropping. So within a company, the personnel may simply discuss classified matters out loud if suspecting only authorized employee to be present. But here, outside at the social engineer may also listen what they are discussing. So just for being at the right place at right time, threat actors or the social engineer can exploit security breaches of this kind of nature. Another is social engineering attack vector is shoulder surfing or spying. You see this figure, actually one person is browsing something and another person is looking from behind. So this is the act of direct observation by surfing over the victim's shoulder to collect personal information, typically used for extracting authenticated data. So all that needs to be done is for the attacker to place themselves behind the victim and then observe PIN code which is entered by the person. Another social engineering is dumpster diving. So we every day actually throw a lot of things to our bins. Maybe some of the important information also actually throw into the bins. So the social engineer, the attacker, actually collect those and get valuable information. So this is dumpster driving. And reverse social engineering, another thing is actually. And so reverse social engineering, 3 steps: sabotage, advertising, and assisting. So I mentioned at the beginning that actually someone creates some problem, that means sabotage, and then advertise. I can actually, the victim is in problem. So he also advertised that he can give help to solve this problem. So this is advertised. And last of all, the victim actually take assistance from this person. So this is very important tool for a social engineer. So first, an attacker find a ways to sabotage a system or network, and next advertise their service as a security consultant. And the attacker creates and plays persona that appears to be trusted, fabricates a problem for the victim, and indirectly presents a viable solution. So this is another social engineering technique. Another is diversion theft often. So it may be online or offline. Offline, like the social engineers trick a delivery or courier company into going to the wrong pickup or drop-off locations, thus intercepting the transaction. And online, they involve stealing confirmation information by persuading victims to send it to a wrong recipient. So now let's see some social socio-technical approach. That means it is social as well as some technical approach is there. Some technicalities are there. One of them is phishing, and you know it. The phishing is like giving random people poisoned candy and hoping to eat it. Typically, a phisher sends an email, instant message, comment, or text message that appears to come from a legitimate, popular company, bank, and school or institution. And I think all the participants, some time or in the or every day, even I also actually gets a lot of messages like this, the phishing mail. That email is meant to trick the recipient into sharing personal or financial information or clicking on a link that install malware. And in our actually university, there are some actually older faculty members who some without any hesitation, they click it and they get infected their computer and seek help. Even someone actually, there are a lot of times, there are some emails which actually request them to give password. So without asking or thinking anything, they give their password as well. So this is the technical approach. Let's see this. One of the example is phishing mail. So this email header here and this email body or text content, there are a lot of things. Actually, the spam emails are often sent in large quantities at a certain times for a spam campaign. And you see this, the email header, and track your parcel. So social engineer to entice or coerce recipients to act. These are the things. So another is spear phishing, social technical approach. Spear phishing means they are targeting a particular target. So it is highly targeted attack. It is like phishing, but tailored for a specific individual or organization. Social engineer networking sites can be used by cyber criminals to mine data on potential victims. So another socio-technical approach is whaling, often called CEO fraud. Whaling uses deceptive mails targeting high-level decision makers within an organization, such as CEOs, CFOs, and other executives. Such individuals have access to highly valuable information, including trade secrets and passwords to administrative company accounts. Whaling attacks always personally address target individuals, often using their title, position, phone number, which are obtained using company websites, using social media or other press. So even just last week in Bangladesh, some people, we may call them the social engineer, the one women organization that called Women Entrepreneur, they actually published a book containing all the email and telephone numbers. So what some people did actually, they mailed to the women with a lucrative offer, and as a precondition, they collect some amount of money, and later on they vanished. So when actually similar things happen within a week with multiple women, and when they discovered that the things actually happen, they publish a book with their email address and telephone number. So in this manner, actually they deceive people, and after, without thinking, when they get a big offer, without thinking anything, they actually give them money. So this is one type of actually whaling. Another socio-technical approach is phishing. It is the use of social engineering over phone to gather personal and financial information from the target. It also known as voice phishing. Another is baiting. It is when an attacker leaves a malware-infected physical device, such as USB flash drive, in a place sure to be found. Suppose a new flash drive, actually they put somewhere, and some people, important person, IT person, actually found it, and he may use in his computer, and the malware get infected into his computer. This is one called type is baiting. So the finder then pick up the device and load into his or her computer and unintentionally install the malware. Another is water holing or watering. Watering hole attack is like poisoning the village water simply by supply and just waiting for them to drink from it. And this is one of the most advanced social engineering attack vectors. It requires substantial technical knowledge. Actually, after gathering a lot of information, social engineer do this. So another one is scareware. This scam tactic is to display frightening screens of your computer being attacked, and then scareware will make claims to be antivirus solution to the attackers. So already example, in 2009, Total Secure, Adware, Punisher, Spychef like this. And another is attack vector is honey trap. An attack in which the social engineer pretends to be an attractive person to interact with a person online, fake an online relationship, gather sensitive information through that relationship. And another one is rogue security software. So rogue security software is a form of malicious software that internet fraud and mislead users into believing there is a virus on their computer and to pay money for a fake malware remover tool. So they actually download this and ultimately they get infected their computer. SMS phishing, text messages that purport to be from legitimate entities are often used in combination with other technique to bypass two-factor authentication. They might also direct victim to malicious websites or their phones. Another technique approach is ransomware attack. It is actually most important, and sometimes our or your file actually get encrypted. So this ransomware attack involves 6 stages, like creating the malware, deployment, installation, command and control, destruction, and extortion. Ultimately, they actually extort money. They claim you pay this amount and then we will actually decrypt your files. So the victim may have only 3 choices: paying the ransom to get back the encrypted files, trying to restore files from the backup, or losing the data after refusing to pay a ransom. And another societal pop-up window, and you face it every day in your browser. So robocalls attack This attack have recently emerged as massive call coming from computers to targeted persons with known phone numbers. So now let's look at the attack tools of a social engineer. We already discussed about the different type of social engineering attack, and then different approaches. And now let's look the tools, how actually specifically the techno approach, it needs some tools. So depending on the aim targets and its skill, the social engineer will choose the most convenient attack vectors as well as appropriate tools to execute them. And the tools are physical security attack tools, call tools, attack tools, or computer-based attack tools. So physical security attack tools like listening devices, cameras, GPS tracker, or malware in smartphones, etc. Phone attack tools like burner phone or disposable phone, caller ID spoofing, and there are computer-based tools also. So social engineer can find tools for different purposes, such as to start and maintain conversation on internet messaging applications, or often called chatbots, information gathering, email attacks, and web-based attacks. And some of the most common tools are like Multigo, and it is a tool, open source intelligence being used to gather and mine information. And it has a powerful graphical user interface. Another is SAT, Social Engineering Toolkit, and ALICE, Artificial Linguistic Internet Computer Entity. So now let's see actually about botnet. Why cyber criminals use botnet? So the botnet is used to steal financial and personal information, to attack legitimate web services, to extort money from victims, to cause unplanned application downtime by distributed denial of service attack, to validate list of leaked credentials leading to account takeover, like this. So what we have actually discussed about social engineering. So using social engineering, the attacker or social engineer actually using maybe some malware like botnet or other thing, they install the malicious thing to the victim computers. And one of the tools or the instrument, attack instrument may be botnet. So after social engineering, the social engineer actually succeed to penetrate to a victim computer. And what actually the why they do this? These are the reasons. Actually, a social engineer penetrate a computer system. So what are the botnet assisted attacks? Main type of botnet assisted attacks are web injection, URL spoofing, DNS spoofing, data collection on specific resources. Unlike DDoS, distributed DNS service attack, which affect the web's resources of the victim organization, the attacks investigated in this report target victim clients of the organization, and the result successful attack can be interception of user credentials, interception of bank card, substitution of transaction addresses, another operation performed without users' knowledge but in their name. So let's see how actually botnet proliferation occurs. Let's see a scenario here. The scenario is attacker sends a spoof email purporting to be from a trusted vendor that is known to the organization and to your employee as well. The email message reference as invoice document, which is attached to the mail. When the employee opens this malicious document, it triggers automation embedded within it and executes the bot on the employee system. The bot may be mapped, network share used by multiple departments within your organization. So in this manner, by spoof email from one computer, it may spread to multiple computers within an organization or within a department. So how actually we can prevent the spread of botnet within a computer system? So there are some best practices. So let's see the best practices. Botnet defense system usually used to get rid of this. So one is just we discussed how an email by sending an invoice to an email, spoof email, and clicking that email, it get infected the computers. So the email security should be there. So email security may be email gateway security, real-time block, attachment type restriction, which attachment you will allow or which not, geolocation or domain-based blocking. You want to block, suppose any mail from China or like this, you want to block, you may block. And sandbox attachment, you can sandbox. And endpoint security, another one, antivirus, anti-malware, we may install in our computer or laptop or mobile, host-based intrusion and detection prevention system. So this may be installed at the endpoint device. Maybe another is group policy. So Windows firewall, enforce automatic proxy configuration, application mapping, show file extension, disable office macros, and execution restrictions. So this may be the group policy, maybe the one of the practice. And then network security, content filtering proxy, ingress filtering, network-based intrusion, and prevention system. Another maybe access and identity management and incident response. This is important. The security team notification mechanism, well-defined incident response plan, threat containment, and email parts. And the education and training. This is most important because the people in an organization knowingly, unknowingly actually clicks the email or become victim of a social engineer. So to aware the people or your organization, education and training is must. So security awareness, security analyst skill training, the needs. And if an organization or if a system already affected, then there is business restoration. So don't, how we can this? If it is a ransomware attack, so don't pay ransom, restore from backup, pay ransom, stockpile Bitcoin. If it is so important that you do not have any backup and you need this file most, then you have to pay. And how you pay? Actually paying by Bitcoin. So reduce impact or cyber insurance, maybe in some, I don't know, cyber health insurance we know, cyber insurance in our country not yet deployed. So these are the things from my presentation or my delivery. Thank you all.